Hello everybody, welcome to Pastor Jerone TV. I'm your host, Pastor Jerone. Today is another great day to be walking with God and to be in the light of the Lord. God bless all of you real good. We have to talk about this Supreme Court decision a couple of days ago to single out the LGBT and say that it's basically a hate crime to fire them based on their sexual orientation. For the rest of us, we have to live in a society that already has on all of its job applications, on all of its websites, at all of its trainings and all of its orientations, the fact that no one should be discriminated against based on skin color, on race, on sexual orientation, or religion. But what the Supreme Court just did, they made some things very dangerous for the church, very dangerous for our First Amendment right based on preaching against that lifestyle. This has placed the church in jeopardy in a very serious way because, as you know, the LG people do not stop, and they're not going to stop at just getting this discriminatory stuff and hate crimes against LGBT people based at jobs. This stuff is going to give them a legal push and more authority to make it a hate crime to preach against their lifestyle. Now it's starting on the jobs. It just started on the jobs and all the businesses, and then it's going to leak over into the churches. But President Donald Trump, thank God for him, he signed a bill a few months back saying that the church has a right to speak freely on its religious base and on its religious teachings. But the Supreme Court and the LGBT is going to try to find a way around that, and they're going to start attacking the churches. And some pastors are going to get arrested based on preaching against that lifestyle. So these people do not stop. I believe they have also seriously monetized the LGBT, because what's going to happen is that, you know, these people, you know how they operate. They're going to have a fit if you call them out their name, if you misgender them. If you misgender them on the job, you're the boss, and you make a mistake and say he or she or it or they or elephant or Miss Giraffe or Miss Gorilla, and you misgender them based on what they're feeling that day, because a person can be gender fluid. That means whatever you feel like at that moment, okay, whatever you're feeling like, you might be feeling like a pole. I'm a pole. Don't call me a person, I'm a pole. And you make a mistake and say, hey, every person in this room, we're all gonna have to, you say, no, what do you mean? I'm not a person, I'm a pole. That's discrimination. What they've done, they've monetized these people. They're gonna be able to sue a job for $200,000 or $300,000. You've given them money, power to sue businesses. Okay? So now, it just turns the whole thing upside down. But let me talk real quick about the two justices who were supposed to be conservative, who voted with the Democrats on this LGBT discrimination bill. John Roberts. Y'all know who John Roberts is. I guess he is the chief Supreme Court officer. But y'all remember when President Donald Trump was trying to get funding for the wall, and he tweeted out that the Obama-appointed judges were blocking and trying to block him from building the wall. This Chief Justice John Roberts retweeted at President Donald Trump and said that there are no Obama-appointed judges, there are no Bush-appointed judges, there are no Trump-appointed judges, only judges. Well, everybody knows that's not the truth. Everybody knows that every president that comes in brings in and votes in judges based on their doctrine and on their policies. If you are a conservative president, you want conservative judges who come in and vote based on the Constitution. They vote based on the Constitution and on the Bill of Rights and on the amendments, right? You don't want political bias involved. But what happens with liberals, they do the same thing. They based on their liberal biases and on their liberal doctrines. and on their liberal policies. So yes, there are political appointed judges. All right. So Judge John Roberts, you look at his picture, look at it, Google him right now, and look at his face, and tell me, don't you see a liberal? It's in their faces and it's in their eyes. They can't hide it. You can see it. There's something behind that, and it's almost like a pedophilic, almost like a gay pedophile kind of look, but it's very demonic. And then Neil Gorsuch. Neil Gorsuch was approved by the House and the Senate, but when he was going through his approval, the Democrats really didn't go after him. They went after him, but not like they did with Brett Kavanaugh. And I think it's because they knew something, right? They must have known that Neil Gorsuch really is a liberal, because they had to put up a fight as if he is a conservative. But they didn't fight him like they did Brett Kavanaugh. With Brett Kavanaugh, they fought tooth and nail. They brought in the FBI. They brought in a woman who lied about something that happened 40 years ago in high school, and they just made a big old crazy show out of it, because they definitely didn't want him in there. And they were asking him, Brett Kavanaugh, if he was going to try to redo Roe v. versus Wade, the abortion thing. It turns out that woman said she lied about that. But yeah, so those were the two justices who voted with the Democrat for the LGBT to do that. See, I always say in my videos how the LGBT uses black pain and black issues to advance their cause. Isn't it crazy how that the Chief Justice in the Supreme Court makes this decision in the midst of the death of a black man and in the middle of rioting and protests and all this stuff? Isn't it crazy how the LGBT is advancing yet again in the middle of black issues? And this is what they've done. I saw it. I started talking to some of my pastor friends when they started doing that. I said, how are we letting them hitch themselves onto our black pain and on our black history? They're saying that people are discriminating against us just like people are doing it against black people. I was like, no, don't ever do that. Because we were born with this skin color. You are choosing to do this stuff you're doing. Okay? Yeah. Well, say I was born this way. No, it's not true. You're not born that way. Most of y'all choose those lifestyles. Okay? So no, don't give us that. The norm, based on science. The norm, based on science. Y'all love talking about science. You see, we got science for COVID. We got science for globalism. And based on science, the norm is for a male and a female to come together because they produce offspring. That's scientific. You can't beat that. So no, you chose to do that. But I didn't choose to be a black-skinned, dark-skinned man. Okay? So to discriminate against a person based on skin color, that's abnormal. All right? But to say that I don't want people on my job dressing like that or promoting those things on my job, well, that shouldn't be a problem. But it's going to be a problem now, and folks are going to start getting sued and fined. And then that is going to be another attack on the middle class and on the mom and pop businesses. Big stores like Walmart, they can handle a lawsuit like that. But a small mom and pop store can't handle it. And there's going to be a lot of problems. That's just my thoughts on that. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think about that, because I think this is very dangerous for the religious voice, and I think it's going to be very dangerous. I think it's a dangerous time, and this shouldn't have been done. All right, God bless you. I'll see y'all on the next video.